Hey everybody, my name is Michael Montgomery and I am the broker with Renzo Real Estate. Today we are talking about networking for real estate agents. Number one, first thing to get into, what do you think of when you hear the word networking? Oftentimes these feelings of uncomfortable, giving out business cards, kind of that slimy cheese ball sort of thing comes right to mind. What I would ask you to do, get rid of that. Redefine the word networking. Redefine it. Yes, you're going to see the word come up, but forget about what that word means to you right now. Consider networking as relationship building. That's it. You're there to meet new people, make new friends, make new contacts. You're not out there to be a cheese ball handing out business cards to every person that walks in. That's not it. You're building relationships. As you know, that is what we are all about. So to start off, to be interesting to somebody, you need to be interested. You've heard me say it before, you'll hear me say it again. Usually the person that talks the most thinks the conversation went the best. So be interested in people, and that way they will think the conversation goes very well, and it usually does. And people can be so interesting. The next is the give and the get. When I first started going to networking events, I felt super uncomfortable. Didn't enjoy it. I was handing out business cards. I'm like, oh, nobody wants to buy a house, or how do I get one of these people to start talking about buying a house? Because that's what I was about. Then one day I went to a networking event and I said, you know what? These have been a struggle. These have been kind of a drag. I don't really know if I really want to go to this one. I was driving around the block a couple too many times. And then finally I stopped and I said, you know what? Let's just take a different approach to this one. For this one, what I'm going to do, I'm going to approach it with, I'm not there to sell any homes. I'm not there to even talk about it. All I'm there to do is to figure out what other people do. What do other people do, and learn from other people. That's it. It was the best networking event, and I still do it to this day. Anytime I'm at an event, I go there just with that mindset switch of let's go and figure out what is it that other people do, what is it that other people need, how can I be of service to them, and I'm not even considering bringing up selling homes, because all I'm doing there is building relationships. You have to go to the event over and over and see the people over and over to build up that know, like, and trust. Know, like, and trust. You need those three things in order for somebody to work with you. Moving right along. Talk to the hosts and the special guests. Oftentimes the host is there. They're trying to move people through. It can be great to have a conversation with the host. The special guests, after they talk, oftentimes they're standing around. Great, because you just heard everything about them, so you can bring up whatever it was that they were talking about. You can also talk to the bartenders, the wait staff. These people are all dying to have conversations. Why not include them? That's a great tip. Next, come early. So a lot of people want to arrive fashionably late so they can wander on in and it's a little bit more comfortable because the party's already started or the networking event's already started. I'd recommend coming early. You can start building relationships with those people that do come early. You can get a lay of the land. Anytime you go into a room, it's human nature. We want to kind of figure out the situation. It's in our DNA. We want to make sure that we're protected. So if you show up early, you get a lay of the land, figure out the room, and then you start building relationships right off the bat. It can be very, very powerful. Next, be the first to say hello. It demonstrates confidence and it shows warmth. It shows that you're interested and you want to start that conversation. People are dying to have conversations with you at these events. That's why they showed up. So be the first to walk up and confidently say hello. Next, I get it all the time. What do I say? How do I start a conversation at a networking event? I just use this simple one. What brought you here? I'm the first to say hello. Hello, Michael Montgomery. Nice to meet you. Hey, what brought you here? Simple. From there, the conversation goes into what it is they do, what they're wanting to get out of the event. Do they come here often? It just goes from there. It's an unbelievable line. Put that, memorize that. What brought you here? Simple. Next. You can always wear an interesting shirt, shoes, fun tie, fun pin, something like that. What you're doing is you're giving ammo to other people to come and have a conversation with you. So oftentimes people are looking for excuses to come and have a conversation with you too, because we're all in the same boat. We all feel the same way. We all feel uncomfortable at times at these events. If you're giving somebody a reason to come up and say, cool tie, love that pin, love your shoes, because there's something that creates a conversation, you're actually helping them come and have a conversation with you. And then you can show interest and start determining what it is that brought them there. Moving right along. If you see two people talking, best to not interrupt them, especially if their feet are pointing towards each other. If you see 3 or more, there's usually one that's feet are maybe out. Look at them, they're scanning the room. They're great to start talking to. Or if you see one individual, yes, for sure approach them. They're dying to talk to somebody. Approach them. As far as your feet go, when you're having a one-on-one, make sure you're fully present. Whatever you do, do not be looking around and say, oh, what do they got over there for food? Or what's over there for drinks? Or did I just see my friend come in? No, you're 100% focused on who you're talking to. Even if your best friend walks in, you still stay focused. Your feet are focused on them and you're 100% into your conversation with them. They're going to pick up if you're looking around, you just seem uninterested, and that is how you break relationships, being uninterested. That's exactly what you don't want to do. Even if you are listening and you're looking around, it still has that impact. So focus on the person that you're talking to. Be fully engaged. That is very important. Next, hang out around the bar and the food. If you don't know anybody, that's usually where the congregation happens. That's usually where conversations start. Hang around by the bar and the food. People will grab a drink, grab a bite to eat, and then they'll leave. And you can catch them there and say, hey, cool, like whatever it is. You can then start the conversation, then bring up, well, what brought you here? Finally, when you're closing the conversation, this one's important too. If we sat there and we had a conversation, we've been talking for 5 or 10 minutes, and I figured out what you do, and now we got 2 hours here, so I want to go meet a couple of other people, that's totally fine. Conversations come to a close. How can you gracefully exit that situation? I do it again, I try to keep things as simple as possible, and this works every time. I don't say I'm going to go freshen my drink or run to the washroom, unless I have to, of course. I don't give an excuse or I'm going to leave now or something like that. I simply say, they're finishing their story. That's so interesting, Sarah. Hey, it was so great to meet you. Put out my hand, shake their hand, and then you just go on from there. Because that's such a polite and easy way to close the conversation. Oh, that's so interesting. Hey, that's really, really cool. It was so great to meet you, Joe. And then you move on from there. It's the most graceful close ever. And you can also tell them, hey, Joe, it was so great to meet you. Thanks for the conversation. Let's stay in touch. Something along those lines. And then you just move on. To recap, redefine the word networking. Get rid of the word networking and think of it more as you're showing up to build relationships and you're not showing up to sell a home. No way. You are showing up in order to learn more about other people. Talk to the special guests, the hosts, the bartenders. Always come early so you can start building conversations and feel comfortable in the space before others show up. Be the first to say hello. You make eye contact with somebody. Be the first to walk up there and say hello. That helps them feel comfortable around you too. Don't know what to say? What brought you here? What brings you here? What are you doing here? That sort of thing. What brings you to the event? The most powerful thing you can say, and it just starts the conversation. It's magic. Wear an interesting item of clothing. This is up to you. It depends on your personality. But if you do that, it does give other people ammunition to talk to you. Watch conversations with people. If there's 3 people, if they're moving around looking, it's probably okay to talk to them. But when you're having a conversation, you are fully present on that one person. Even if the president or somebody huge walks by and you or your best friend walks in, you're still 100% focused on that individual. Next, bar and food. Hang out around all the bar and food, where the wait staff are, where people are coming, where people are going. Make sure that is where you spend your time, especially if you don't know anybody there, because that's often where they'll come through, and then you can have a quick conversation. Thank you so much for watching this one. We'll talk to you soon.